Hey everyone, hope this all finds you all very well. What a beautiful sunny day it's been today. So I had the opportunity to get down to a beautiful piece of woodland that we really are blessed to be able to kind of use and wild camp and adventure. And the last few days it's just absolutely burst into life. The leaves have sprung, everything's feeling as if it's almost around about 4 to 5 weeks late. But today, really warm. It felt like summer. It didn't really feel like spring. And everything absolutely has come to life. So, development tips, ongoing development advice, subscriber questions. We got another fantastic questions from one of our subscribers. Here it is. So Elizabeth Doyle. So this is from a lady called Elizabeth, who went on to ask, when do you use the closing down of the energy centers? I'm sure Elizabeth is talking about the chakra system. So you've got the energy centers. Those of you that know about the chakras, you'll know where they are. Those of you that don't, you've got your energy centers. So you've got your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and then your base chakra, your base energy center. So Elizabeth goes on to ask, when do you use the closing down of energy centers? Before contacting spirits? Before you go to sleep? Thank you in advance for your help. Much love. I think this is a really fascinating question, one that I really can get my teeth into. So I'm going to throw up a fair bit of thought into this actually. So when do you close down your energy centers? Those of you that haven't seen some of my previous videos, in my development playlist you'll find 3 or 4 parts to 10 New Street. Have a listen to that, okay? So it's really going to enforce and reinforce the importance of closing down first and foremost. Before contacting spirits. Now, here's the thought, okay? So going back all those 27 years ago when I first started to develop, as many of you know, and like all of us that work within this field, it really isn't something that you normally go looking for. It's something that normally finds you. It gives you a tap on the shoulder. But all that time ago when I first started to kind of consciously develop, I sat in development circle at a local spiritualist church at 10 New Street. So do go and have a listen to the story. And we wasn't taught any techniques. It was purely to sit within a circle, development circle, and really kind of sense and feel what you got. And I had a very powerful experience that really reinforced the importance of closing down. And it's worth a listen to, okay? As time went on, many kind of groups, workshops, the spiritual community were all talking about, opening up your chakra system, almost like as if you could visualize flowers opening up, and then after you've worked, closing them all down. And I remember after a while thinking, there's something wrong here, there's something amiss, there's something missing. It felt like there was a ingredient missing, and it also felt very long-winded to me. I kind of felt that there was something else going on underneath. And I remember working one day and I was sitting quietly before I saw a client, and I got this impression as if spirit, one of my guides actually, and you can see over my shoulder there's a portrait on the wall. You see that over my shoulder there? I felt her kind of come close to me, and she, over the years of a kind of relationship I've had with her, the teachings that I've taken from her. She's very gentle, but also very challenging. When I first come into contact with her, one of the first things I felt, because I felt this new energy around me, one of the first things I said was, "Who are you and what are you about?" Some of you will know this story. And her reply to me is, "Who are you and what are you about?" It took me the next kind of 2 to 3 years to really answer that question. So she's always stirring up thought with me constantly. You know, that journey hasn't stopped, and I'm truly grateful, because it's all about asking questions, and I think we should never stop asking questions, which is why I really invite a wonderful community here on YouTube, and also on my Facebook page, Spirit Meets Adventure, and even Instagram. You know, I'm always inviting people to kind of ask questions. We grow from kind of exploring those questions. And I got an impression from her, and she was saying along the lines to me, "When you're working, Shane, where do you feel you're sensing the information? Where do you feel the information is landing within your body?" And I thought that's really profound. And I kind of sat there and I kind of listened, and I kind of tuned into that. And it's coming from deep within. It's coming right from the core. And I could really feel, you know, that's that knowing deep inside of you. And then I kind of realized that for some time, the information I'm sensing and feeling, the information that I'm kind of landing, okay, is coming from the core. And then I knew that I was working, if you like, beyond the chakra system. For some time, I wasn't consciously opening up, closing down. I was coming from that core center, and there was a sense of expansion coming from there. And I kind of really kind of reflected on that and kind of sat with it, and I really, you know, understood that the chakra system to me felt like it was on the surface. The core center feels like it's underneath all of that. It's deeper. It's coming from a place that is almost within. It's that inner knowing. So when kind of the innate speak to me, when spirit talk to me, I have this knowing of what they're explaining to me, what they're telling me. You know, only yesterday, as kind of in a mentoring session, mentoring someone with holistic mediumship, and the lady turned to the client we was working with and mentioned a knee, and at first she felt that it was with the gentleman in spirit, and I looked at the lady and I thought, no, it's with her. And I said to her, "It's with you." And that's coming from deep inside. There's just this clear-cut knowing. So it's deeper. It's from within. The other important thing that I really recognised was that with the chakra system, it is long-winded. It seems overcomplicated. I also believe that it's been diluted, you know, because it's an Eastern approach, an Eastern philosophy. You know, there's an Eastern understanding to the chakras that we are probably only but touching on the surface with. We only probably have a surface understanding of what they are really about. But what I really felt and knew was that there's almost like a vulnerability with them. You know, energy can attach itself. But the more I worked with the core center, the more I kind of sat and kind of, you know, when I kind of finish work, is draw my energy back to me. When I work, it opens up and it expands, you know. And I've had experiences where I've been adventuring, you know, and you're watching a sunset, and then suddenly you just feel this expansion of energy and this feeling of real peace wash over you, and this sense of feeling interconnected with everything that's going on around you within the environment, which is really, really special. You know, it's normally at a day's end and been cycling, and you stop and you're just watching the last moments of that sun drop down across the valley or across the mountain or even out across the sea, and suddenly you get kind of goosebumps and you get this expansive feeling. And that expansive feeling is feeling as if it's coming from the core, from deep inside. So I'm very aware that, you know, the chakra system feels as if it has a vulnerability to it. Energies can kind of attach themselves. Not, you know, and this is something that I've been speaking about recently with some of our questions, is that, you know, a greatest form of psychic protection, it actually is our attitude. And if you think that if you physically strengthen your core, you're going to strengthen the whole of your body. I also believe if you kind of strengthen your core and you work from your core, you're going to also strengthen your energy body. You know, there's almost a dynamic feel to that. It's core, heart, that area feels like it merges and it's one, and you get the feeling of expansion from there. And you also get that feeling of drawing back when you kind of complete your work or when you finish your work. So it's something to think about. There is a video, I'm going to see if I can find the link for you, within my development series, that is called Living Beyond the Chakras. Really worth a listen to and a watch as well. So when do you close down your energy centers? Well, I work from the core. So for me, I visualize the core and I visualize that opening up. It naturally happens. I don't need to kind of put too much intention to it now. You know, Elizabeth goes on to say, would you close down your energy centers before contacting spirit? Well, you know, for us to kind of sense and feel, be aware of the innate, be aware of spirit, you know, we generally kind of open, you know, you kind of expand your energy. Before you go to sleep, most definitely. But then again, as I say, I don't these days predominantly work with the chakras. I'm working with the core. I'm not even aware of them anymore, to be honest with you. It almost feels like there's a dissolving. I'm not aware of them. I cannot sense them anymore. I just sense this core, which is, you know, solar plexus, but deeper than that, and the heart area, you know, that feels to be one big kind of merging core, or even a kind of vortex, if you like. But it's that sense of feeling from deep within. But you know, when I kind of go to sleep, yeah, you know, I kind of allow my energy just to draw back to me. Just to draw back to me. You know, I think that's natural as well. You know, there's times where you're absolutely out there in the world, and there's other times where you just want to nurture, be gentle, and kind of soften that energy, and it becomes natural. You know, I a long time ago kind of gave up with those long-winded, overcomplicated techniques and visualizations and meditations. You know, for me, it's more raw. In many ways, for me, it feels more real. It feels more natural. It has a sense of just feeling very, very right. So there's some thought. I hope that's kind of helped. I wanted to stir up some more thoughts there. I will drop in a link to those other videos, which is Living Beyond the Chakras, and also 10 New Street, and the story there to the importance of definitely drawing your energy back. Always welcome the questions, guys. I always find them very fascinating. So I hope that's helped Elizabeth, and I hope that's helped many of you. Those of you that are watching this on my Facebook page, please feel welcome to jump over to YouTube. There's now a wealth of resources. There's also individual playlists now, ranging from the weekly Psycard insights all the way through to weekly development tips as well, and also Shift Your Life is a new playlist that we've got up and we're placing some content in there as well as the adventuring side of what we do. And those of you that are watching this on YouTube, feel free to follow our daily content over on our Facebook page. Links will be within the video. As always, guys, I really enjoy your questions that you share with us. So thanks very much. See you all very soon. Take care, guys. Bye bye.